Society headquarters, which is where we're going next to visit with Bruce Betts for this week's edition of What's Up. That'll be right after a visit with Emily.
Hi, I'm Emily Lakdawala with questions and answers. A listener asked, how come total eclipses are sometimes just a couple minutes and other times 7 minutes long? A wide variety of geometric factors influences how long an eclipse can be. The theoretical maximum length for a total solar eclipse is 7 minutes and 31 seconds. The August 2008 eclipse was short, only 2.5 minutes long at its maximum. By contrast, the July 2009 eclipse will be the longest of the century, at more than 6.5 minutes long. An eclipse happens, of course, when the moon passes between your spot on the Earth and the sun. You see an eclipse when you are standing in the moon's shadow, which is shaped like a cone with a narrower apex pointed at Earth. The larger the moon's shadow, the longer your eclipse will last. Because the moon's orbit is elliptical, the size of the shadow it casts on the Earth during an eclipse varies. Most of the time, the moon is too far from Earth for its disk to completely cover the sun. In that situation, you would see an annular eclipse where the sun peaks around all edges of the moon. So total eclipses are maximum length if they occur with the moon closest to Earth on its elliptical orbit, and when Earth is farthest from the sun. Another factor is where you are on Earth during the eclipse. The maximum duration eclipse occurs at the spot that lies under the center of the eclipse's track. It is shortest at the ends of the track where the spherical surface of the Earth curves away from the shadow cone, and the eclipse occurs at local sunrise or sunset. Also, the farther you are from the ground track of the eclipse, the shorter totality will last. Got a question about the universe? Send it to us at planetaryradio@planetary.org. And now here's Matt with more Planetary Radio.
Time for What's Up with Dr. Bruce Betts, the Director of Projects for the Planetary Society. We're going to talk about the night sky and space trivia and a random space fact. And we have a really fun, it's not a trivia contest this time, but that's just a tease.
Okay, I won't say anything more about it.
Say no more. Say no more. I will say no more.
Say no more in general, or just...
No. Say lots about the night sky.
Okay, I got lots to say. Jupiter's the easy thing to see in the night sky. Brightest star-like object. Look over in the east anytime in the evening, headed to the south or north, depending on where you are. But high overhead, brightest star-like object there. Now, if you want a challenge, try to find a whole bevy of planets hanging out low in the west, but you have to look like half hour after sunset, really low to the horizon. You may even need binoculars. But over there's a cluster of planets. We got Venus, the brightest one. We've got Mercury, and we've got Saturn. And they're all doing a little dance, but they're doing a dance awfully close to the sun. And then Mars is to the upper left, and it's a little bit higher up. This is all over in the west, but is even dimmer. Hey, here's something you can see. The Perseid meteor shower with our nice dark skies here.
Yeah.
You can go out and see up to 60 per hour. Well, if we had nice dark skies, that's what you could see. But here you still can see the bright ones, and that's peaking on August 12th. Some of you are probably listening after this, but it's a very broad peak, so you still might get increased meteor activity. Stare up, look for those bright little flashes of sky going across the path. No, flashes, you know what I mean. Streaks
flashes
of light.
of path going across, yeah, okay.
Yes, streaks of light. Speaking of streaks of light. Well, this has nothing to do with it, but partial lunar eclipse you're referring to that we can't see August 16th, but any continent but North America, you probably can see the partial lunar eclipse on August 16th, so check that out. And so a lot of good stuff in the night sky. This week in space history, I can't believe it has been 3 years since Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter launched. That happened in 2005, giving us great fabulous data in orbit at Mars, as are so many things right now.
You know, I forgot that MRO hasn't been at Mars as long as the rovers have been on the ground. And that's just freaky.
Yeah, we got a lot of spacecraft. Keep working and working.
Keep going
and working
and
going.
Uh-huh.
On to Random Space Fact!
Ricola!
And now a word from our sponsor. Steins, not the things you drink out of, but something named after a Latvian and Soviet astronomer. Steins, an asteroid the Rosetta will be flying by on September 5th at just over 1,700 kilometers away. And Steins is a relatively small asteroid. A weird spectral classification when they look at what it looks like. It is a so-called E-class asteroid.
Does that mean it's habitable?
That's exactly not what it means. No, it means it is rich in enstantite.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Enstatite?
Yeah, it may. There's only like 6 of these. A very small number of these E-class. They're thought to possibly have come from a broken up, differentiated, larger asteroid.
Ooh, differentiated.
Cool. On to cool trivia contests. We asked you about the Kaguya spacecraft in orbit around the moon. Actually, we asked you about its little friends. So what are the small so-called sub-spacecraft that are flying also with Kaguya as part of the Japanese mission to explore the moon? How'd we do?
I'm going to give you the winner right up front. It was Thomas Yanuka. Yanukta. They go to the trouble of giving us this phonetically, and then I ignore it. Thomas Yanukta.
But please keep trying, because it allows me to mock map more.
In Warsaw, Poland. Thomas, congratulations. You got it right. He said Kaguya's little friends, who are actually her guardians. They're not her little friends. They're her adoptive parents, Okina and Una. We probably aren't pronouncing those correctly either. But congratulations, Thomas. We're going to send you an Explorer's Guide to Mars poster.
Hey, let's go on to another trivia contest. And would you like to explain this?
Well, it's not a trivia contest.
Well, okay.
We've never
No, it's important.
It's not trivial. We've never had a contest suggested by a listener till now. Kirby Runyon, regular listener to the show, he's going to buy a new car. And that car happens to be a Saturn. And he wants to name his Saturn after one of Saturn's moons. And so he said, I don't know which one to use. I mean, there are plenty to choose from. He goes through a few here. You know, Mimas, because it looks like the Death Star, which is cool. It'd be cool to drive to the Death Star. But he wants help. He can't decide which one. He said, why don't you guys help? Or at least get the listeners to help. So here's the contest. I'm thinking maybe 50 words or less. What do you think?
At most, yeah.
Okay, 50 words or fewer. Tell us which moon Kirby should name his car after and why. And he says whoever gives the best rationale, he will name the car after them. And, of course, we'll give them a poster. And I think we got to give them, if we can find one, a little Saturn Hot Wheels or a Matchbox toy or something like that. So
okay.
I'll find one. I'll find something.
All right. So when do they need to get their extensive essays into us after thorough research?
They got to do it. They got to be quick. They got to do it as usual by Monday, 2 p.m. Pacific on the 18th of August. Monday, 2 p.m. Pacific, August 18.
All right, everybody. Go out there, look up for the night sky, and think about flecks of dust floating in a beam of light. Thank you, and good night.
You did dust last week.
I have been doing a lot of cleaning lately. I'm sorry, it's on my mind. I added the ray of light.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Well, he's Bruce Betts, a ray of sunshine in our lives, every week here on What's Up. Planetary Radio is produced by the Planetary Society in Pasadena, California. Have a great week.